I beat Classic Hardcore only using arcane spells, the final video. Okay, let's see this.
A few months ago, I decided to challenge myself to get to level 60 on Classic Hardcore, but playing as a mage which can only use arcane spells. With 8 levels to go, we are on the final stretch of this challenge, and in between us and reaching our goal are only a few select zones standing in our way. Whether I live or die, welcome to the final episode.
Cool.
Due to the launch of official hardcore servers, it's been some time since I've touched this mage, and in that time, I've been playing a real mage, which are worlds apart in terms of power.
Oh, he's been
so
like
coming
cheating
into
on
this,
hardcore
I
a
had
bit.
hoped not to get overly confident facing enemies, and as luck would have it, I was quickly brought down to earth by the first quest taking a whole hour to complete. There is a quest chain in Searing Gorge that ultimately has us kill a bunch of elites.
Oh, he's gonna
to
do that
hopefully
one.
Get the quest item.
Okay.
The drop rate for the item we need is very low, and each elite here is a formidable opponent. I would very much like to skip it, but the amount of follow-up quests you get from this is so crazy.
It's a good quest chain.
Needs to be done. But throughout the levels, we've built up a hefty arsenal of tools and gadgets at our disposal to help us with
all
this
the engineering stuff you
exact
got.
situation. The net, first aid, and grenades will all help us tackle the elites. But even so, we basically have to expend every resource each kill, which is very scary. I completely skipped the fire guards since they simply have too much health and focus on shamans. But they are still slightly problematic due to an instant 400 damage cast on top of their heavy melee hits.
Dude,
Eventually,
even just doing these mobs is sketch, man.
My way
on
into
any
the
class.
base up on the ridge and fought mostly geomancers, which proved to be a bit more manageable thanks to counterspell and dampen magic, and we managed to get the drop. Our strategy for survival has always been to stay way ahead of the pack to ensure we are steadily over-leveling the enemies we fight, and this has worked well up until this point. The late game zones really don't have much going for them. There are some good ones here and there, but practically
Dude, I can't even believe he didn't even showcase Western Plaguelands. Literally the best leveling zone of all time, man. You just go up, you do all the cauldrons, man. You get so much XP. Every quest is a double quest. It's so
simply
good.
Not enough quests left in the game for us to stay above the recommended
Oh, it's
level.
so nice.
This has two downsides. One, it takes longer to kill stuff with Arcane Missiles, but two, our main tool to speed things up, Arcane Explosion, becomes essentially impossible to use.
Yep.
Enemies simply have too much health and deal too much damage, rendering me unable to AoE unless I use Arcane Power once every 3 minutes. And even then, it's sketchy. But it's not all bad. We still have a few upgrades to look forward to.
Okay.
The final rank of Arcane Explosion at 54, Arcane Missiles at 56, and a new gem at 58. While relative to the lower ranks, the late game ones are not as hefty of an upgrade.
It's actually kind of crazy how strong the early... Like, once you get an early rank, like a new rank at the low levels, you just do, like, twice the damage. The caster experience is so different than melee.
Of an upgrade,
I guess it's the same when you get a new weapon,
get the upper hand in the race to death against my enemies. Okay, but as you all know, I'm an up-and-coming YouTube channel focusing on gaming content. And you know what that means. That's right, Raid Shadow Legends. As an artist myself, I'm in love with the game's unique character designs, incredible art and detailed
you gotta get that
in
raid
fact,
sponsor in
there are
once,
over
okay, dude?
700 different champions for
If you're a content creator, man, you gotta, you know, you're growing your channel, you gotta get that raid sponsor. Once you have that going, then you know it's for real.
6 different heads, like the head of Blight, which poisons you, reaches you, and protects itself with a poison cloud.
You denied yours?
Any strength, there
you
is
won't make it.
weakness.
Yeah, you won't make it.
Hates fire. Any good team requires a tank, and the Hydra has
Why do raid sponsorship always sound so sarcastic? They do sound like over the top, right?
Form of the Head of Suffering, which with an ability called Pain Link reflects some of the damage back to your own champions. Of course, with the tank,
it's not really like a horrible game. It's just a phone game.
Which if you hit
it just has such a shit like reputation because of the overly aggressive marketing.
15 times, it triples.
Right, it's just like an auto battler.
There's the Head of Torment, which applies true fear on your guys.
It's a gacha game, pretty much.
Lower their HP. And lastly, the Head of Mischief, which steals your buffs, giving them to the other heads. If this sounds exciting to you, whether you're already at the end game or just starting out, Hydra Clash is a new clan-based competition where with the help of your clan, you face off against 4 other clans to see who can beat the Hydra the hardest. Use my link in the description or scan my QR to get right into the action with insane bonuses like the epic champion Talia. Come on, what are you waiting for? Go! Once you're in and and have finished the tutorial, come find me under the name Jampanos and join me in crushing your enemies.
Man, I can't wait to play with my favorite contributor Jampanos when I download this game.
Raid for sponsoring this video.
Let's go, guys.
If there is one thing I've hated more than anything during my time playing WoW, it has to be shared spawn quests. Nothing better than thoroughly clearing an entire area only to be left with a fraction of the quest completed and only the wrong mobs respawning. Jeffrey Kaplan, if we ever have the honor to meet. But I lied. There is actually one thing I hate even more. Full bags. The reason why I hate it so much is because I am unable to deal with it. It's just like a
Dude, I know. People keep giving me shit for my bags, but honestly, it reaches a point where you just give up. And like, you just can't deal with it, right?
It's a room that keeps getting messier, and the longer you leave it, the less you want to clean it up. It went a bit too far though, and eventually I had to clean my bags in my bank because
you have a mental breakdown and you just delete everything. You just sell everything, delete everything, and start fresh, and you slowly let it get worse and worse. Yep, that's how it goes.
We had to once again focus on engineering. I have been big time slacking on making grenades and bombs, and with enemies being so difficult to AoE pull, these will help out tremendously. I recently discovered that if I throw my grenades slightly away from the enemies, I can get an arcane explosion in the time it's traveling, essentially giving me 2 free explosions, plus the damage from the grenade itself. Now you may think this is something I should probably have discovered earlier. To that I say, good things come to those who wait, or something like that. I'm not a poet. We are now approaching the extreme depths of the Arcane talent tree, with only 2 more slots left to spec before it's completely filled out. But the remaining slots aren't
actually filling up the whole tree.
Actually that bad, just the other talents took priority. Specifically, improving my dampen magic is really strong when it comes to enemies dealing magic damage, and even more so if they have relatively small hits.
I didn't realize that, because these mobs attack with magic damage. Dampen magic makes them do less auto attacks. Dude, this is big brain.
Reduce the damage done from these elementals by half, allowing me to pull quite a fair few. The thing is, it's really situations like this that makes this challenge cool. Just ways of utilizing the arcane kit, which previously weren't a big deal, but become huge with a distinct lack of tools available to you. I also managed to grab the elixir, which instantly kills you if you drink it. On official servers, this doesn't actually outright one-shot you, instead bring you to very low health. But remember, I'm not playing on the official servers, so this elixir would indeed just end the challenge with one simple click. And for some godforsaken reason, it's very hard to not let the intrusive thoughts win. Just one...
I know why he would pick it up. Okay.
Click, man, that's all it takes, and it can all be over. But I stored it somewhere safe in my bags where I would never accidentally touch it and moved on. After a bit of this and a bit of that, we finally hit level 57 and unlocked our final ever rank of Arcane Explosion, which will help us out immensely as we move into our next zone, Angor. There are few zones in the game as rewarding as the crater. It's a light in the dark of quests few and far between, some forcing you to travel the world for a single morsel of experience, but in Angor, 1 lap is all it takes. 1 lap around the copy-pasted circular exterior to finish each and every single quest it has available. Of course, there's one small thing to be worried about.
Dude! Wawa! Was it Wawa? I think it was Wawa here, right? Oh my god.
The giant elite devil souls patrolling the entire zone.
I almost died here on Wawa.
To my name, pulling one of those could be real bad. But as long as we stay nimble and keep our eyes open, we should be more than fine. Although there is one more thing. Angor is home to the fire elemental invasion, which happened to be up. These dudes just spawn around the volcano in the middle, and as the weak card suggests, deal a lot of damage. But I was able to sneak around them and make my way to the top. But on the way down to the escort quest, I managed to completely disregard the huge patrolling elite that is the main antagonist of the invasion. Whoa!
Baron Char.
Vad händer? Är de här ute efter mig?
Oh, he's actually...
Whoa! Ring. Varför är alla ute efter mig? Vad hände?
He's hoping to the
I've actually no clue what happened here. I seemingly ran past them just fine, but then slowly they started to aggro me one by one, forcing me to flee. Even looking back at the footage still has me confused. Like they clearly randomly start running towards me, even when they patrolled way past. Anyways, it's time for the big boy turn in. Let's see, 49% XP, let's see.
Oh, do that, yeah. Oh yeah, oh that's hot. Oh! Oh, yes.
25%.
Oh, that's good.
Not bad. I mean, there's still some more to turn in. So.
Good XP.
Then after a quick world buff run, I stepped foot into Winterspring for the first
thank you for the
time.
7 months.
As I mentioned before, I haven't really ever quested in these late game zones. Even recently when playing official, I was once again AoE farming, and the only quests I did were Angoro and Searing
They're
Gord.
fucking classic mages, man.
Oh, I've actually never done any quests in these zones. I just killed a bunch of mobs. Again and again.
Fucking, like,
As well as part of the Plaguelands. Basically,
Mage
I'm on edge the
Andes.
entire time ready for something to go terribly wrong. But that's still not gonna stop me from greeting a few Arcane Explosion pulls here and there. I also have this weak card that displays information about the enemies to help me, but when I tackle Gortesh, separating him from the pack with a split pull, I, for some reason, didn't really expect the warning does extreme damage, even though it's
does like a
basically as
knockback.
strongly worded as it can be to mean 1k damage in a second. But
Yeah, he
with the
fucking
net and arcane
slaps.
power, he was easily dealt with anyways. Finishing off Burning Steps, you might notice that we are only level 55,
Yep.
while the guide recommends us to be level 57. Somehow, even with a lot of rested XP, we have fallen behind quite a bit. Most likely due to the lack of dungeons because the server is dead.
Oh.
But forcing our way through and continuing questing will do us no favors. Even if we can do them, we will eventually just run out of quests as aforementioned. This means we are left with basically no choice but to grind. Our location
Okay.
of preference is going to be the furbolgs in the southern reaches of Felwood for 3 main reasons. 1. Getting reputation with Timbermaw Hole to at least neutral will give us access to 3 new quests.
Okay.
2. They drop feathers which can be turned in for additional XP.
Not
And
bad,
3.
yeah.
They are low level and squishy enough for me to comfortably pull 3 to 5 enemies at a time.
Like
Now there was
7 levels
nothing
lower,
else
yeah.
left to do than to sit back, relax and commit. Welcome to the long grind.
oh god. Jeez, look at that XP bar hopping though. Fucking
Because we were
mages.
rested, the XP per hour is actually very good,
2
sitting at
hours per
around
level.
70k an hour. Of course, this will be straight up halved when the rested ends. There's actually a 4th reason why this spot is good. I have constant access to Songflower, which
Hmm.
boosts my stats by 15 and crit chance by 5% at all times.
Yeah, I don't know how
I
he's so
initially
far
planned to
behind
stay
on
at this
levels.
spot until level 56 and then move up north.
We didn't see him do Western Plaguelands. We didn't see him do EPL either. Did he just skip those all together?
To the higher level furbolgs, but eventually decided against it since the XP loss going into 56 wasn't bad at all. When rested ended, I contemplated stopping there and resume questing, but I decided to bite the bullet and stay an additional hour before moving on. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it quits here. My gear is broken, doesn't seem like there's any repairs here, so bottom line, I mean, I was planning to go all the way to 57.
Maybe he's just
but
following the
that's not
guide,
gonna happen right
I
now.
guess.
Went a little bit over the goal of neutral, considering we have 150 turn each, 50 each. So it's gonna leave us just shy of friendly.
Oh shit, actually getting a lot of
There we
XP
go.
on that too.
Give us a good amount of XP too. On the
Mike
way,
Chan-
we also picked up our final rank of Arcane Missiles. Yep, here we go. Decided to go for friendly anyways.
Damn.
Or maybe it gives me something.
Actually getting
Probably
friendly.
not though. Ding. See, the thing is, not a single one of these do anything for me. I think maybe this
Is he going into
works.
Frost though? Is that legal?
Like the hit chance works on grenades and stuff, so I guess I'll just pick that. It feels weird coming into Western Plaguelands being so incredibly scared of the place I just previously spent over 10 hours at. But
yeah,
without
he was a
access
little
to
bit
the
in
most
EPL.
insane kit in the game, being Frost Mage, the sheer density of enemies here is quite overwhelming. Bro, I can't believe I spent so much time here, but... Oh, now that I'm here on the Arcane Mage, I'm scared shitless. Like, what am I supposed to do about these Scarlets, dude? Just patrolling.
Gotta wait for them to fight something.
Fight something, you nerds. Get inside. What's this? This, like, if I die anywhere, it's here, man. What the hell is this? That's
Okay.
my cue.
This is so sketchy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
made
this
it.
place is a bit sketchy.
Okay, this is another absolutely fucked quest. I have to go inside the house
Yeah.
now. And this isn't, like, the house alone is an AoE pull spot, right? Like, there's probably 8 mobs in there. Recently had a
Yeah, in the total house, yeah.
guy I knew died like level 58 here on a normal mage. Not great spot to be, but you know, if I play it safe, maybe. Maybe we'll come out alive.
Surely.
Being this close to 60 feels oddly scary. Like it's so close,
Yeah.
yet so far away. The XP per hour is slowing down, the quests getting more sparse and the enemies
quest map?
more dangerous for every new zone I enter.
Mm-hmm.
When I started playing hardcore on this account a few months back, I was deathly afraid at basically all times. I dreaded logging in because something could go wrong. I would even have dreams of dying in-game quite often. Every
Dude, same. When I was doing like a lot of hardcore content all the time, I actually had nightmares about dying in my hardcore characters. Like, it's fucked, dude, okay?
near-death experience was more of a traumatic event than a thrill.
Yeah.
And if something did happen, it could leave me shook for the rest of the day. But with
Yep.
time, as I've played more and more on this character and on official, the fears have slowly died away and confidence slowly been built.
Yeah.
And now it lets me really appreciate hardcore for what it is. It forces you to take the game seriously, to really feel the weight and design of
It's about the
enemies,
journey.
quests and zones. Whereas in normal WoW, you would run past the big elite with no worries at all, maybe you get dismounted and killed, but who cares? But on hardcore, you are forced to care. The
Yeah.
world feels so much more alive and real due to there being actual risk involved.
True.
No stroll through a zone is leisurely. You always have to be on guard and respect the world around you. Or you could just lose it all. And to me, that's the real thrill. It adds
True.
the weight and reality of your surroundings into the gameplay in a way that softcore could never do.
It's
and with
weird how the game was always not meant to be played like this. It's an MMO, right? But I really like it, man. Maybe it's also from like a content creator's perspective, like it's a fun thing to stream because there's like the thrill and shit like that, but yeah, it's
Eastern
fun.
Plaguelands finished up, we managed to hit level 58 before heading back to the west where we hit quite a surprising spree of quests and efficiency, peaking at 100k XP per hour at one point. But this high would not last for long. Back in Felwood, we managed to yet again perform some solid AoE pulls with grenades and the final rank
Let's
of
run out the
Arcane
content.
Explosion. Then once in Winterspring
Living
again,
is.
we got to level 59 and now
Yoppa!
one level remaining. On the actual mage, I said that 59 to 60 is actually one of the faster levels, only taking around 1.5 hours.
Damn.
This would not be the case here. I started off killing Yetis for a
Oh
whole
no, not this
hour at a
quest.
solid XP rate of 15,000. But once that was finished, it actually picked up speed for a bit. Until eventually, I was fated to head into the most hated
Is he going
zone
to
of all
Zilithus?
time. Silithus. And after a quick stint with a horrible quest in Angoro, we were sitting pretty at a solid 20,000 XP per hour for 2 hours straight, since as we headed into
Jesus.
Silithus, we were greeted with the most abhorrent of gathering quests, where I spent an hour just trying to get a few stingers to drop.
Yup.
What is this, Jeffrey, please?
Dude.
Praise be Alune. As I finished that up, all we had left to
Okay.
do was Hearthstone back to Winterspring and finish one long escort
Yeah,
quest.
it was, Athena.
We had all the XP we needed to reach 60. In retrospect, is Arcane Mage that bad? Well, yeah, compared to a normal mage, absolutely. But compared to any other class,
But that's
I
a
mean,
fucking hero class, man. Like, normal mage with the whole toolkit is so nuts.
not really. It's not amazing.
It's
I'll say
actually
that
pretty
much,
good,
But
this
despite
build.
all that, it has some very useful spells. Arcane Explosion, Blink, Polymorph, Mana Shield, Teleports. In the first episode, I said that Arcane is the worst spec. But I
It's
actually
not.
think if you're only allowed to use one school of spells, Arcane is probably stronger than Fire in terms of leveling.
Yeah,
Because Fire has
he's stronger
no
than everything, dude. Better than fire, better than frost, because he has blink. He can travel like with portals. He has freaking conjure food and mana. He has the mana agates, like mana gems, whatever. It's insane.
escape. Their slow is kinda bad, no hard crowd control, and no shields. And the only thing they do have is like way more single target damage.
I get
but
it.
that doesn't matter that much. What is up, Archdruid Fandral Stagon?
Oh shit! Damn, we fucking did it.
Level 60.
Is that it?
There we go. We reached level 60
that's it.
without using a single spell school other than Arcane. We check Fire.
Damn.
Fireball rank 1
Good
train.
fucking job.
We check Frost. Frost armor rank 1 train.
Dude, that is so weird seeing a spellbook like that.
Armor rank 1 train.
Wow.
Never used.
Smoke salmon, thank you for the
Verification
prime.
status. Pass. We've never died. Arcanist. Complete the hardcore challenge using only abilities within the Arcane and General
Oof.
tab. And it only took us 5 days, 18 hours, and 37 minutes.
Wait, that's actually fast though. Like, for real? For a hardcore character, only Arcane? That's actually really fast.
For 138 hours
No, that's
total.
good.
Now what? The server's completely dead. Oh well, I guess it's time to say goodbye. 138 hours of pure
He's gonna drink
Arcane
it, I know
Mage
he
gameplay
is.
what it took for us to reach level 60. Finishing our goal that we set for ourselves 2 months ago. And what a journey it has been. Thanks for watching all of it if you have, and I hope you're ready for the next adventure. Until then, see ya. Don't forget to use my Raid Shadow Legends
Wait, I
link
thought
in
he
the
was gonna
description
drink the
or scan my
Vidira
QR
elixir.
code to get right into the action and get insane bonuses for new players with an epic champion.
Dude, he was setting it up like he was gonna drink the Vidira elixir. He was like, oh, talking about it, like being all omnious about the elixir, like showing it in his bags and everything. God damn. Well, good video though. Good fucking video, actually. I'm really... Dude, he cleared that really, really fast, actually. Unironically, at the end of the day, he did. I'll link it to your chat. There it is, man. The Yampanos video with the Arcane Challenge has been finished, man. Good video.